Hi there. And so again, in some ways I don't think I've got very much to say. And in some ways I haven't bothered posting the last videos, even though I think they're kind of great. So I will just get around to it, but I'm finding it a little bit difficult to get around to stuff like posting online, because in some ways I just don't believe in it. Because in some ways, mostly what I'm seeing online in the world is a whole lot of people in fear and panic, judging against others, sticking to their judgments, ganging up with each other who agree, and ganging up against those they disagree with. It just seems so ludicrous. The pro-Trump, anti-Trump, pro-Zelensky, anti-Zelensky, because the patterns are just the same. It's the same as the believe in CO2, disbelieve in CO2, zero policies. And the more interesting concepts that I have going on my own perception, or that I'm coming across through my YouTube use or whatever, actually sees peace coming together. But again, as I kind of stated in that last video that I haven't uploaded, those who don't find peace are going to wipe each other out, wipe themselves out. And that just seems so controversial. There was a video that I put up, maybe it's 2 or 3 months ago now, and a friend in America just didn't get what I said. And all I was saying is that those who don't find love in this dimension, love being like the highest truth, are going to leave the earth, go into the metaverse, and experience whatever amount of more time is needed in order to comprehend that love is the highest truth. That to see something outside of yourself as not part of love is a lesser concept. And so I'm just very aware of how easily misunderstood what I'm saying is, even though to me it just seems like very simple logic and has done for so long. Kind of thing. So fear and panic. People who live in fear attract and see the reflection of that fear, and that reflection seems to be the real world. False evidence appearing real scary is an whatever is the first letter of each word spells fears. And it's not that I'm tired of it, but it is a long time that I'm saying all of these things, and people look at me as if I'm crazy, as if beauty is a crazy thing, as if to see beauty is some sort of an insane thing, and as if to speak about beauty is a psychosis. Whereas an equation is a beautiful thing. An equation that is a true equation is certainly a beautiful thing. And in this world of contrast, if one says that less than truth is less than beautiful, and that the beautiful truth is the only real thing, everything else is a projection of a less than truth, and people tend to think, yeah, well, are you saying there's no such thing as badness in the world? And so we attempt to break down in reductionism anything that we don't understand, which is fair enough. But the breaking down what you don't understand and creating as if the lack of understanding is the truth, despite how ugly it is, it just doesn't make sense to me anymore. I've been through all those phases on and off, trying to see, yeah, maybe everybody's right. Maybe I am just overly happy, living in a dream world, living in a fantasy land. I have checked with myself to see if this is, am I just living in a fantasy land? Am I just crazy? Have I got mental health issues because I'm happy? When I've tried arguing stuff out with people, apparently that's not the right thing to do either. So yeah. So weighing up whether to be happy, whether pursuing one's inner inner happiness is a sort of a stoicism. Like the things that you can actually change are the only things you should even try to change. Being unhappy about what the government is doing when you can't do anything to change what the government is doing is just a recipe for being unhappy and achieving nothing, becoming more unhappy, which is a spiraling depression. Whereas one's own happiness is something that one can affect. How one looks at the world is something that one can affect. How to interpret what's going on in one's own life. How to make changes if you're not happy with what's going on in your own life. These things we can have an effect over. Over time we can actually change the direction that our life is going in, little bit by little bit. You change a little thing every day, and that little thing eventually becomes changed greatly. Kind of stuff. Yeah, it just feels foolish to be sharing information these days in a way. I thought pontificating. And yet at the same time I'm happy to, it's no problem. Maybe it's a feedback thing, maybe it's a lack of feedback thing, but it's mostly, I just think the world is actually sorting itself out and there is no real point in arguing about that. And the other thing is, it's nice to have people who agree, and it's nice for me to listen to the things I listen to seen from a different point of view that's kind of similar, and it helps confirm things I've been thinking for years and years. And so, okay, I'm quite happy to provide that for other people too. I guess it's nice for people to hear the stuff I'm on about who already hear this, but that's kind of what my point is new information doesn't really change what people already believe. The people who find the information of what I might be talking about have already known what I'm on about, have already seen it from their own point of view. And the ones who don't see this won't be listening to this. Yeah. And that's not a problem. That is just like attracts like, as much as like attracts its opposite. But it's not really possible to explain faith to somebody who is in doubt. And it's not really possible to explain a really long story to somebody who's only been listening for a little while. Or whatever. Anyway, there we are, sunny Scotland. A sunny day with no wind. And there are no windy things. It's nice. And here's a new hat that my daughter just finished making today. She spent 2 weeks crocheting this hat, which I quite love. So me and Tara have got matching hats now. Slightly different, but both crocheted by our daughter. Haha. Well, that's enough anyway. Thanks to the people who to be watching, and I don't know, tell me if you'd like more videos, but in a way I don't want to drown people out with loads of videos. Why bother? Kind of thing. Bye now.